Good afternoon, everyone. I am Kay Jacobson. I'm a librarian with the Ramsey County Libraries, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you to Schools of Psychology. And just before we do anything else, I just want to mention our um, co-sponsorship. This is Osher Lifelong Learning Institute of the University of Minnesota and the Ramsey County Libraries with support from the Friends of the Ramsey County Library that make all of today possible. And without further ado, let me start to introduce J.B. Andersen. J.B. Andersen is the creator of the popular History of the President series that has been on OLLI for I don't even know how many years you've been doing it, JB. But he is an educator, a curator, a writer, and he's served 25 years at the University of Minnesota. And today he's going to continue sharing his passion for psychology with us. Here you go, JB.
Good, thank you. I'll get set up. 20 years. I'm 82. I retired at 62, and I got a call to come back and teach senior citizens. Today, I think I'll be able to finish up body language. If not, there might be a few slides left for next week. Next week, I'll do a psychologist named Viktor Frankl. Uh, and he's European. Anyway, good. Here we go. We're going to talk next about facial expressions. And this is the introduction. Here you can see a variety of facial expressions. This fellow is smiling. This is just a very straightforward look. Ooh, something's wrong. And this fellow, Einstein, has his tongue out. Here's a wide variety of people. The face is really probably the major source in body language, and it's a very complex area. There's lots of things that do stuff. Eyebrows, eyes, nose, lips, head nodding, etc. So it expresses lots of emotions. The face involves the eyes, the mouth, the lips, the nose, and the cheeks. And all of these areas around the face display body language. Eyes can dilate. See the upper right image here? This eye is a pupil is wide open. This one is very much closed. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes. Lips can curl inward, such as we see here. Mouth can be open or closed. Nostrils increase in size. This is a normal nostril configuration, but sometimes they flare, such as here. They open up, and that means something, and now we'll talk about each of these items. First, facial expressions are very important in some occupations, such as police work. They interview people all the time about crimes that have been committed. Are you lying or not lying? Counseling, such as is pictured here. There's a counselor with a patient, and body language is, many psychologists say they learn more from body language than from what's said. And in acting, and this is theater arts. That's very important. Theater arts people who study body language are figuring out how to behave when they're in a role. R-O-L-E. Eyebrows raised indicates you're greeting some. Oh, hi. And you raise your eyebrows. But it can also be an act of submission. You might be looking at some, and you're, oh, okay. Afraid, facial expressions. If you're in fear, Here's a picture of a man with some fear. Face is tightened. Notice the mouth, partly open, not all the way, just partly open. Eyes are cast downward usually. Sometimes looking straight out, worried you're going to be coming at them. The head is frequently pulled back. A person looks like they're afraid there might be violence, like they're going to be hit. Eyebrows raised. That tightens the scalp and brow, and you can see how I can do that, and I get these lines up here. So the scalp and brow can be tightened. This is called horripilation. The brow can have lines in it, as I've already talked about. Confidence, facial expression. A person looks at you, they look in your eyes, and oftentimes their eyes are cast a bit downward. And that means they're showing confidence. Eyes, the pupils. A person cannot control their pupils. You can't say, I need my pupils to be bigger, or you can't feel that and it happens. You have no control over the size of the pupil in your eye, but they do show if you're accepting something from the person you're talking with, or if you're showing less interest. When the pupil is wide open like this, or open, kind of 3/4 of that means acceptance. I'm paying attention. Or it can mean, hey, I really like you too. Wide pupils, you're interested in the other person, or you're interested in the topic that they're talking about. When interest wanes, the pupil goes down and becomes much smaller. It closes down, such as you see here. So you can tell if this person is interested in you or not, or had interest and lost it. Size of the pupils is also based on lighting. If you're in a room that's very dim, your pupil will get larger so that you can see better in a dark area. If you're in a heavily lit area, your pupil gets very small, tiny, and such as here. This is the wide open pupil. Lots of light, small pupil. Little light, pupils are large. However, but when you're speaking with another person, your eyes override what the lighting is. You're concentrating on the person and your eyes are adjusting to that individual. If the pupil of the eye, it can expand up to 45% while you're looking at someone you love. So that means you can go from 1 to 1.5 in terms of size of the pupil when you're looking at someone you care about. Eyes blinking. Normal, 6 to 10 times a minute, your eyes blink. So that's, once every 6 to 10 seconds, roughly. When you're interested in an object or an artwork, you're looking at something, or you're interested in a person, the blinking really slows down. You're concentrating on seeing more, not blocking your eye. So you block your eye less. When you're interested in an object, a piece of art, or a person, blinking goes down to 2 to 3 times a minute. That can be every 20 to 30 seconds that you blink. Study of the eyes. Oculesics is the study of eye movement and the study of eye behavior. Here's a lot of eyes. Here, the eye is cast to the left of this person. Eyebrows are down. Here the eyes are down, the eyebrows are down. Here's a wink. And you can see there's different styles to eye movement, and that all has significance. Cultural differences in eyes. We're going to talk about Anglo-Saxons. A lack of eye contact from another person generally means they might be suspicious about something that goes on. They think you're not telling the truth. They have little, if any, confidence in you, especially if you're speaking to them. So lack of eye contact means I'm suspicious of you. You're not telling me the truth. I'm doubting you. I have no confidence in you. Now, the Angles and the Saxons come from northern Germany and southern Denmark, and they migrated, many did, to England. And in England, the south west corner is primarily Saxon in origin. And just north of them, also in the southwest, are Angles. So there's cultural differences. Let's take a look at a couple here. Latinos or Hispanics. Prolonged eye contact, you're being aggressive. You're staring at someone. Asians, prolonged eye contact means you're angry about something. Eyes, known as bedroom eyes, the name they've been given. And that's associated with squinting. And here's a picture of a young man squinting, looking at someone. Generally, people do that because they think they look more attractive with their eyes in that squint mode. However, makes you look untrustworthy. And both men and women see it. They look at you, and if you're not showing your whole eye, something is suspicious. You're untrustworthy. You're not telling me the truth, etc. So we project this image when we like someone, but it gives the wrong impression. Fact here is a normal gaze is more trustworthy. Your eye fully open. You're more likely to establish a long-term relationship with another person when you have your eyes fully open rather than half closed. So there's a conflict there. People, without realizing it, kind of half close their eyes when they like somebody, but they want to make themselves look better. But the fact is, it leads to suspicion. A wide open eye is a much better message sender to a person about likability. Focused and unfocused. Okay, eyes focused. Generally, the eyebrows are turned downward and you're concerned about something. If the eyes are centered, such as in this bottom image here, that's a positive expression. This is somebody that's going to be more likable to you. Also, if you remember from last week, likability is also expressed when you put your chin in your hand. So here is eye-centered, chin in hand. I like you. I like what's going on. I like what you're saying, etc. Now, unfocused eyes. Eyebrows are usually raised, even though they don't look like it here, but you can see the eyes are outward. Eyebrows are generally raised. Gives you a look of depression. I'm not sure what's going on here with this image of this woman. You can look bored. anxious or unconcerned. Here it's hard to tell what's going on with this woman. So unfocused, you feel like somebody's looking at you, but they're looking beyond you. Happy and sad eyes. When you're happy, you generally tend to look downward. Body's full of energy. You look happy, you're smiling. Both of these images on this slide, we can see a person's teeth. Generally, that means it's a genuine smile. A smile with the mouth closed, you can just see lips. Ingenuous smile. And also the hand, this woman has her hand up. That generally means she likes what's going on, almost actually showing the palm of the hand, palming that we talked about last week. Women do not show the palm of their hand unless they like you. When you're sad, same sort of thing. Eyes are turned downward, but there's no smile. So this is a sad person. Smiles, genuine and fake. Here are 3 genuine smiles, and they have a couple of characteristics. Teeth are showing on all 3 of these people. Look at the wrinkles around the eyes. Eyes are wrinkled, teeth are showing. This is a genuine smile. I like what's going on here. Now, a fake smile, no teeth showing here, very little teeth showing here. No eye wrinkles here. Here you can see some eye wrinkles on the bottom, but they aren't all around the eye. I'm going to go back to the other side. Look at this. You got wrinkles that really surround the eye. Whereas here, you got a little wrinkle under the eye. Here, no wrinkling, little or no teeth showing. That's a fake smile. Touching. In psychology, the study of touching is known as haptics, and it can involve a whole lot of different things. Backslapping, hey, how's it going? And, people frequently do that. You brush against a person. That shows that you're liking the situation. You shake hands. That's another way that people touch. Often it's a quick handshake. It's a more sustained handshake. It can be light touch or more dramatic touch. High fives, the image here, couple people giving high fives, you slap hands, holding hands for a short while, patting somebody, patting them on the shoulder or the arm. This is haptics, this is touching. Super important at birth. A child has been in the womb, been surrounded and touched all over. Then it's born. Well, it wants those feelings again. So this touching of an infant is the most dominant sense that infants have. And it's very important, this touching during the early stages of life. It's important in forming interactions with other people, relationships with other people. There are some cultures who, at birth, wrap a child very tightly in a blanket, and because they know that this is important to the child. Touching can establish lots of things. It can bond you with another person. You are starting to share closeness. It's flirting. It can be playing with each other, having fun. It can be to show power over another person, touching can. And it can be soothing. I feel a lot better. Here's a couple, and they're actually touching. His arm is against her shoulder. They are cheek to cheek. So this is flirting, and this is bonding, etc. Here, you see two things that are really significant in romancing. They are leaning toward each other, and they both have their chins on their hands. So pretty soon he's going to say, "What would you like to do tomorrow night?" A lot of this stuff, we'll talk about it in a minute or two. This goes away once you're married or have a partner of some sort. Touching, it's not always a positive thing. Here's somebody that the guy's touching her on the back and she's going, "Whoa, hold it." And they're not facing each other. It can show anger, disgust, fear, stop touching me. But sometimes it's shows you're interested in a love relationship, or it's for sympathy or gratitude about something that you have done. So touching can have some negative features, and it has some positive features. How long do you touch? That means quite a bit. You walk up to somebody and hug them and it lasts 2 seconds. That's not likability. Doesn't mean they don't like you, but it's not a romantic touch. The longer you are held, the more the person likes you. How long? Longer's more likable. The amount of pressure that's felt and the location of the touch. Look at this couple. They are tight against each other. Arms are all the way around the back, pulling you in. Faces are touching each other. And this is a long-term hug lasting many seconds. That's a sign of super caring. Touching, the meaning of it, research. It can be accurately determined by the people being touched without knowing any of this information about body language. You hug a person and you go, "Oh, okay, that was quick." Or, "Oh, wow, well, that was something." Also, people observing the touch, such as in this photo, you can see people are watching. It's something we can all sense, not just the individuals involved, but the crowd around you or the people around you can also sense that, "Oh, that was nice," or "Wow, they care about each other." 5 categories of touching. Professional settings. I showed you this picture last week, and it's a couple, and she's got her hand on his shoulder. They're both smiling. They're looking at something on a electronic pad. They're not facing each other, however. So generally, when you touch somebody, it means closeness. I'm interested in you. I'm getting close to you. This is not true in business relationships, and it's not true in medicine. Touching doesn't mean that. Touching a shoulder, you're simply, this is a business relationship. She is simply showing approval for what he is doing. So social touching. It's an interaction between two people. This is social touching. It's not romance. Often there's another motive, though. It's power. You're going to promote me? We're going to get work done? Advance me. I'm the boss. Who's the boss? Somebody wants something done of these two people by the other. Somebody want a promotion. This is a business relationship. Friends touching bonds them. Here, it's simply a social connection between these two people. So strong social, emotional, physical relationship, intimacy. In public, it shows we are spoken for. That's not what this couple is showing. Here we have bonding, intimacy. There's people holding hands, as in the upper image. The middle image, arms around each other, and hugging in the bottom image. These are all things that occur over an extended period. I mean, many seconds or minutes. Holding hands can last a very long time. Walking with arms around each other can last quite a while. And that is showing intimacy. Intimacy is shown when you're courting. It's shown when you're dating. When you get married, that's over. I mean, it's you no longer need to do it. It's interesting too. Oftentimes, women are in charge when you're dating. Will you go out with me? Yes, men ask, woman decides. And the woman has some control. The men ask, where would you like to go to eat? Do you like Asian food? No, no Asian place. Then you get married. The approaching is over. You're married, you've won the situation, both of you have, but the man feels more control than during dating. So courting, dating, lots of intimacy is shown, not shown as much in marriage. The height of intimacy, sexual intent shown here. This is where you're really interested in arousing the other person. And we can see here, like at a dining table, there can be legs meeting each other. But in public, you might just share closeness, cheeks touching, etc. Voice intonation. What you feel and see affects your breathing. Is it shallow? Is it normal? Is it heavy? And your speaking rate can tell something about what's going on. You know, are you talking fast or are you talking slower? And voice tones can tell if you're mean or angry about something. So breathing rate, speaking rate, and voice tones all are ways to determine how the other person is feeling. Happy person, voice is usually very cheerful and you're happy, and there's a lot of gaiety in the body language, usually not expressed quite that dramatically, but happy people breathe deeper. If you're talking to someone and their breathing is not shallow, it's deep. That's a sign that they're understanding what you're saying, liking what you're saying, or liking you. And the kind of breathing that you do affects the quality of your voice. It can make your voice louder, fuller, stronger when you're breathing heavily or not super heavy, but breathing deep. Depressed person, anxious, nervous person, voice usually lacks intonation. Voice is more like this, and it's just, oh yeah, okay, well, That sounds okay. Robotic voices, such as on the telephone or on an Amazon Echo or robots, home devices like that, they all lack vibrant intonation. They're pretty. I've noticed mine in the last couple of weeks. My Amazon, excuse me, has changed. I'll say, Alexa, uh, put milk on grocery list. Got it. Thank you.
Got it. Milk's on your grocery list.
Whoops. See, there, I got one in this room and I shouldn't have used the A word. Posture can affect your voice. Seating makes the voice sounding good, makes it worse. There's greater pressure on breathing when you're seating. Breathing can be more silent or obstructed. People can't tell about your breathing as easily when you're seated. When you're seated, it's a lot easier to appear to be bored or disgruntled. You could sitting back against the chair and looking down and stuff like that. Sitting up straight helps. So this guy here is he's sitting up straight. That helps all this stuff that seating can affect, being seated can affect. Standing, less pressure on the lungs, better voice quality, etc. And here I am now, of course, on a computer since COVID, and I'm seated all the time. I used to do that in a large classroom too, but everybody was looking at TV sets or a big screen, and that had an image of me, and it had my slides, or not an image of me if I so chose. Body language in different settings. Introduction. We're going to discuss 3 areas. Business, that's at the top here. Friendship in the middle. There's a group of ladies together looking at something. And intimacy. There's a couple of clutched hands. First, business. These are formal relations. There's lots of rules, lots of boundaries when you're at work. The goal, we're going to complete a deal. I want you to do this, that, or the other thing, or I need to get this done. You make a deal with yourself about how soon something's going to happen. Body language in business is handshakes, smiles, pats on the shoulder. That's about it. Purpose, I want you to trust me, especially, like if I'm trying to sell you something, or even if we're just working on a project together and not meeting with the public. I want your trust in this project. So convey trust, establish trust. That's about it. Whatever you do, keep it mild and productive. Never cross your arms in a business meeting like this. It shows you're not trusting what other people are saying, or it shows that you're not interested in what they're saying. Sometimes it's a habit. And if it's a habit to have your arms crossed, lose the habit, get rid of it, especially if you're still, I know we're all retired, but especially if you're still in a business relationship. Watch your arms, do not cross them. Friendships. These are congenial opportunities. It's people having fun. It's doing things you would never do at work, like show your navel. So informal relationships, unlike business, you can be expressive. You can be congenial with people. Warmth toward each other. genuine caring. Hey, come on over to my place. We'll have some pizza. And they're watching TV and having fun and laughing about it and so on. It's not based on economics. It's based on bonding, having a good time with each other. Open interaction. It's usually spontaneous. You don't carefully guide what you're going to say like you would in a business meeting or a business situation. Responses aren't measured. They aren't considered. It's just in business, you're going to say, oh, I got to be real careful here and so on. Intimacy, body language in intimacy. This is the most personalized of all body languages. It is friendship, but it has a physical side to it. Handshakes are brief. Holding hands is lengthy. Putting foreheads together. This is leading to or because of intimacy. It's a direct statement that I like you. Here's a couple of movie stars displaying such behavior. There's a couple of people caressing each other, hugging each other, kissing in public, common, displayed to other people. It shows that I like you. It shows that we are a couple. If one partner's not a willing member in a intimate relationship, they often show fear when you come close to them, or depression even. And they might, no, don't do that. There might be an appearance of force. You back off or take a step closer. Hold arms up like you're, nope. Readiness, introduction. Being ready means being prepared for something. And the body changes, and it makes changes that can be detected. And this occurs both in physical activities, such as we see on the left side of the screen at the bottom there, or in social interaction, as we see on the right side of the screen. So voice tone changes when you're getting ready. Your voice might get deeper, or you might talk louder. Deeper breathing occurs. You're preparing yourself for something that you know is going to happen here. There's nervous excitation. You're about to be involved in something competitive. It could be a meeting. It could be an athletic event. Heart rate increases. Body fullness comes out. And skin brightens up. And there's a general look of tension that you can see in people when you know they're about to have to perform for something. Physical exertion, jogging, a sporting event, climbing Mount Everest. There's people climbing Mount Everest. You can do this. People take up collections. Costs like $30,000 to $60,000 by the time you get there and pay the guides and get the right equipment and everything. And sometimes you'll see people, hey, I'm collecting money for my Mount Everest climb. Can you contribute $10, please? So sporting events anyway. What's going to happen to me? Oh boy, I hope I don't fall down. What if somebody passes me? In order to get ready for an athletic event like that, your body appears bigger, you get enlarged, you're pumped up. Rapid movement is about to begin or has begun. And you stretch your arms, your legs, everything stretches out more than when you're not involved, some sort of physical exertion, exercise, or an event of some sort. But here's a beware. Body gets larger, you're pumped up, start rapid movement, arms and legs stretch further than normal. This can be misinterpreted, mistaken for aggressive behavior. So watch out for the lion. Fist clenching can often simply be a part of physical readiness. It's just so glad to be speaking here today, kind of thing. Let's go back and look at this woman that's running. Look at her hands, her fists. She's made them into fists. And here's a woman also, looks very angry, but fist clenching. That's also it's physical readiness. There it is again, fist clenching, simply a part of the physical readiness. These signs or reactions are called ballooning. You're getting ready to do something. Or it's called bracing too among body language people, ballooning or bracing. Oh. Social interaction, readiness, social interaction. You're about to interact with other people. It's the same as physical exertion. Far less dramatic, however. Body appears larger. You're pumped up. Rapid movement begins. Arms and legs stretch further than normal, stuff that we talked about a few minutes ago. So you go into preparation mode. You're about to socialize, social interaction, not an event like athletic event of some kind. Your arms get positioned. Here these people are out stretching their arms and they hug first and then they're going to sit down and talk. Or here's people getting ready to talk. She isn't facing him. She might turn and face him, which means, okay, I'm listening now. So when you're getting ready to socialize, the position of the arms is important. Where is your body pointed? Where are your feet pointed? And that's what's important in this image. She is not yet ready to talk to him. These two are all ready to talk to each other. They've opened themselves up. This is beginning, at the beginning, and the decision is about to be made. Here's a seated person, has his arms at his side and his hands together. He's open to conversation. He's not like this. Here are two people seated, not facing each other. They are facing away from each other. They've both got their arms crossed. It's obvious there's feelings of uncertainty here. The woman in the white clothing may have been sitting at this bench, and along came this woman and said, "Oh, could I sit on the other end of the bench?" Yeah, oh, sure you can. And then they both turn sideways. They don't know each other. They're not going to talk to each other. They put their backs to each other, and they're just not going to socialize. They don't, this is just a nice thing I did for somebody. Want to take part in the contact? You have concerns about involvement? Look at this couple. What's going on here? Her arms are crossed. Her legs are crossed. This shows back off, stay away, I don't care. I'm worried about what you're gonna do next. Then look at him. He's on the phone. He's not paying attention to her. His legs are crossed, and his feet and body, his body is pointed away from her. His feet are pointed away from her, and her feet are pointed away from him. These are two people that are not interacting or not interested in interacting. What do you do when you're preparing for a social engagement? This woman, she's standing tall. Oh, there's somebody I'm going to talk to. Yes, I'm interested. She stands tall. Often hold their arms upright or put their hand on their hip, such as she does. And you look confident. And there she stands, ready for an engagement. Gonna talk to somebody, showing that she is interested. But I don't suggest you do this in a barn after having shoveled horse manure. What do you do when you're preparing for a social engagement? We just saw a woman that was already all prepared for a social engagement, standing tall, hand on hip. Or what do you do to release stress? Because a lot of times getting ready for these social engagements can be stressful, even though it's a positive thing. Well, there's a method for relieving stress. You take in a deep breath, hold it for 10 seconds, blow it out hard through your mouth. Repeat that 3 times and you feel much better. So deep breath, really breathe in. Count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 2. And then force it out, blow it out hard through the mouth. Do that 3 times. If you're feeling tension or stress, that's a good activity to get involved in. Pull the car over. Do that 3 times if you just saw something or got involved in something or whatever. At any rate, this procedure of taking a deep breath, holding it for 10 seconds, counting to 10 slowly, and then blowing it out hard through the mouth. That's a great stress reliever. But it is suggested that you don't do this in public, although I don't know about that. I've done it, but in a lighter fashion. I don't go, I go like that. So anyhow, here's a public space. And many people suggest try to relieve your stress privately somewhere. Cultural bias. Introduction. Is body language influenced by your culture? I would say so. Lots of people say no, it's not. There are dissenters from this. These people say that body language is the same worldwide, globally, no different. Others say, the same ones that say it's globally the same, often say it's biological, it's genetic, it's something that you inherited. So it's not a social thing, body language, it's a biological thing. Cultural bias, equivalent among cultures. Body language is the same worldwide. There are people that say that. It's an argument for biology. A lot of people say they can see this in animals, especially in their dogs. I mean, this dog's excited about something. this dog is sad about something. What'd you just say to that dog? So a lot of people say it is biological, and different species share it with each other even, indicating it may not be cultural. So what do we know? Studies in cultures that have no outside contacts, like a rainforest area. You go to Brazil, it's estimated there's at least 100 groups of people, tribal groups, within the rainforest in Brazil who have never had outside contact with anyone. When they are first contacted by psychologists, sociologists, anthropologists, one anthropologist did some research, showed pictures of people from industrialized cultures to these people who had never seen an individual from outside their tribe. And all of a sudden, this person appears, hi, yeah, I'm, tries to figure out their language, then shows them pictures of people from industrialized societies. These people that have been confined in the rainforest can tell you, oh, that's a happy person. That's a sad person. That's a et cetera, et cetera. So it's an argument for some of the features of body language being universal. Identifying emotions from photographs of people not in your culture. Difference between cultures. Let's take a look at some of that. Racial groups, we have Asians, Africans, Europeans, etc. And ethnic groups, too. We have Jews, Christians, we have other ethnic groups. Even within Judaism, you have conservatives that dress in a different way and handle their food differently from the more progressive Jews. So within a group, generally there's high identification for body language. Between different groups, racial groups or ethnic groups, religious groups, there tends to be differences that some people can't figure out. So kind of an argument for it's not biological. Cultural bias, conclusions. There's a lot of conflicts in the research. Studies support both sides. It's biological. No, it's psychological. So what do we know? There's high recognition between cultures in 9 areas. And let's take a look at them. Anger seems to be something people can tell between different cultures. Contempt is showing contempt for a person. Disgust, fear, happiness, pride, sadness, shame, surprise. These emotional items tend to have very high recognition between cultures and ethnic groups. You can tell, oh, that person's surprised. Oh, so's that person. Use of body language. Let's look at some conclusions. Counseling. How long between a question and an answer? I'm the therapist. I ask you a question, and it's 20 seconds before you respond. Quite a while. This might be a lie. It's not the correct answer. It's not what they're feeling. It's what they think they should be like. Whereas if you speak up almost immediately after the end of the question, you're generally giving a more truthful response. So what's accurate? What should be said is, what do I really feel? What will I tell to other people? What's accurate or what should be said? What's acceptable to be said? We always, you greet somebody, hey, how are you? You're supposed to say, I'm fine. I've started saying, I'm 82 years old. How do you think I am? So, among therapists, psychologists, these are people with master's degrees or PhDs, and psychiatrists, which are medical doctors specializing in psychology. How long between the question and the answer? And that tells you if it's correct or truthful. Sometimes you really do have to think about what the honest answer is. Conclusions. Learning another language. Learning the vocabulary alone of another language does not really make you a part of that language group. Does not make you a good communicator, just being able to speak. You need to know about behaviors also. You need to learn the culture, and this means body language. Here's a cultural wheel: arts, tools, techniques, rituals, language itself, knowledge, stories, community, values, food and drink, the arts, so on. So it's differences between your culture and their culture. It's differences between your language that you learned from childhood to the new language that you have learned. Asians don't like pointing. I've done this in an Asian restaurant. They'll go, how's everything? I go, great. Well, to somebody brand new in the US from Asia, they think you're being negative. See, because you're pointing out, oh, this stuff is great. Asians don't point. So not knowing the silent moves of another language, you can appear, people will say, I don't know what the person's talking about. They're difficult to understand, etc. Yeah, what? Conclusions: poker playing. Is your opponent bluffing? Now, you can watch, there are some channels on TV where they have poker tournaments, and you can watch the play take place. Interesting thing about poker tournaments is the same group of people. There might be 30 people, and you always see them. They're always in the top 5 at the final table. Why is that? Same group of players making the finals in tournaments. It's a card game. It's chance. How do you, it's got nothing to do with skill, really. What's going on here? What's going on is body language. The people that tend to make it to the top most frequently, excuse me, are people who can read body language among the other people at the table. With poker, is this person bluffing? And I need to be able to know that. Some people try to hide what the body language they're giving out from others at the table. They'll wear a hoodie and look downward, such as here, or glasses, so you can't see their eye movement, etc. And so poker champions, the reason they're frequently among the same group of people is because they're very good at reading body languages. Let's take a look at police interrogations. Is the suspect being deceitful? How can I tell? Are they lying? Are they telling the truth? But is body language of the police influencing answers? Look at this guy standing up, bending over, pointing at a person that he's questioning. And by the way, that's not a halo over his head. That's a light in another room. Anyhow, police, they need to know body language. Here's a police interrogation room, and the nature of the interrogation room is very significant in what is going to happen, what questions get asked, how the answers are made. First, single light shining downward, bright, blank walls, nothing on the walls, no paintings hanging in there, no signs that direct you to, some place, this door leads to the hallway, that kind of stuff. There are two-way mirrors. Here's one, here's one. So there's people in the next room and I can't see them, but they're watching and listening to this. And the sharp lines in the room, everything is squared off. Nothing round or circular or diagonal and the table and chairs are often made immovable. They will be screwed to the floor. There's enough room for you to get into the chair and sit at the table, but you can't move any of it. And that's ouch. That's a big ouch for the person being questioned. I had a person who taught interrogation techniques to the police speak in my class. And they said, give me 10 hours with a person in such a room, and I will have them confessing to anything. So what are police doing? They want to solve the crime. They don't want it to take a long time. They don't want it to go unsolved. Their bias is get this person to confess. So frequently, people that are untrained in interrogation just simply become very irrational, trying to gain a confession from someone. Conclusions about body language. We're going to look at teaching next. The teacher, you look around in the room. Everybody looks, or not everybody, some people look confused. This is a message to the teacher. What you just said needs further explanation. What are you talking about? Here's a couple images of students that are wondering. During COVID-19, classes were on computers. Class member reactions, you couldn't observe them anymore as a teacher. You didn't know what to do next. You just had to continue talking. I don't see any of you. I used to see that. I'd say something and 3 hands might go up like this. And I'd go, oh, well. At any rate, these online classes that we have many more of nowadays are, they eliminate body language as a sign for a teacher to know what's going on in the classroom. So you no longer see people's desks or what's in their backpacks anymore. Anyway, who has the desk that's clean? Sort of the organization. That isn't available either. 3 techniques in teaching. Number 1 is intuition. You teach a concept by displaying the behavior. Earlier, I talked about how some people get angry and their voice gets, see. You display the behavior that you're teaching about. If you discuss crying, look like you're crying, or start talking like that. And here's a guy exhibiting some behavior and a woman, and you can get a message as a teacher about what's happening there. Intuition still, number one. Something stinks in the chemistry class, teacher should hold their nose. Let everybody know it's okay. Yup, that's supposed to stink. Number two, communication. You're speaking in a class. If you've got your arms out in front of you and your hands clasped together, such as the image at the top, you're really closed. You're sending a message of being closed to interruptions or questions or don't challenge what I've said. You're more open if you're like this and speaking. And so it's one reason why when you see speakers are frequently moving their, keeping themselves open as opposed to closed. So you create a body stance that's open to discussion, if that's what you want in that particular class. You allow students to question what they're hearing. You can exhibit questions if you so choose. 3 techniques in teaching. Number 3, suggestion. Ask open-ended questions. Don't always give an answer. Ask an open-ended question. Look around. See what people are thinking about doing. Are they looking up and wondering? Or then discuss the alternatives to that open-ended question. Open posture means more learning. Open questions means more learning. There's participation from the classroom. Personal story. This is Ray Birdwhistle. He's a body language expert. He doesn't like the terms. He calls body language kinesics. But at any rate, he was one of the leading experts in body languages. So kinesics sounds more scientific. Well, he sees body language positions as absolutes among people. Some are habits. I wanted to say I was at a speech. Somebody was giving a speech and he was in the audience. So I saw some of this directly. If you sit leaning forward, it implies you're about to lie. Or if you sit leaning forward, it means I really like you. How do you know the difference? Or I sit leaning forward often, but it's because I have hearing aids and I can't hear somebody. So I'm trying to get closer to them just so I can hear them. So see, there's several possibilities there. Well, I attended this conference on birding, and in the room was Ray Birdwhistle, an amateur birder. But he had done some research on birds, and it was interesting because he discovered that all birds, no matter what the species, have a tweet, and it's a high-pitched sound. And every bird species makes it, and it means danger. So you're warning all the other birds, not just your species of birds. He's the guy that discovered that this high-toned whistle is an interspecies call, meaning danger. He discovered a bird whistle, and his last name is Birdwhistle. And that's it. I am done. And we'll see now if there are any questions or concerns, or do we quit early?
Well, we have a couple, and people can certainly add more to the Q&A, please. And I did have somebody put something in chat earlier. Even if it's a comment, please put it in the Q&A. I'll share the chat thing really quick here. The comment was when you asked Alexa to add something to your grocery list, it
Yeah.
added it to their grocery list because they have Alexa also.
Oh,
Just so you know that it heard their
oh,
Alexa heard you say add to my grocery list.
yeah.
Um,
Yep.
okay, so Q&A, please
Right.
put,
Yeah, and then it shows up on my phone. So when I go to the grocery store, there it is. I got I got this list of groceries, and I'm gonna show it to you. Here. There's my grocery list. I know it, I guess that's all blank. You can't read it. At any rate, right now on my groceries are cinnamon swirl bread, and it tells me it was added by Marilyn. That's my wife. If some kid, 5-year-old kid added it, I might go, wait a second. And milk is on the grocery list. So yeah, anyway.
okay. And
Yeah,
that's one of the things with voice recognition like that, it can't read the intonation as much to know if you're like joking or things like that. Because that's that combination of it's like if you're leaning forward, you read the other physical signs and body language to figure out if you can, what that might mean. So it's being aware of more than one thing. Okay, so somebody is sharing there's a great sculptural display of facial expressions that can be seen at the Korean War Monument in DC. And they said it's best seen at night, and you can really see a vast display of different facial expressions in that sculpture. So
I wonder if they've put it online.
it's you probably can look up images of that. So I would say that would be a good thing to explore for people.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so now some actual questions. Do signs of affection change or start the same or change with generations?
Uh, Generally, no. Affection is pretty standard set of situations, leaning forward, smiling, bright eyes, big pupils. A lot of it is physical stuff that you don't know you're doing, but
I'd say it's what changes with generations is what is socially acceptable in
yeah,
public.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Including dress. I mean, I see lots of women today who, I mean, I never would have seen a woman dressed like that when I was a kid in the 50s or in college in the 60s. When I was in college in the 60s, mini skirts started,
mm,
and that was a rarity. And there was a lot of talk about nylons, because nylons used to come halfway up your calf, and you'd have it clipped to a girdle or something, and your skirt was down to your knees, so nobody could see it. Now, mini skirt, you can see the top of the nylon. So pantyhose got invented. And, but yeah, all of that makes a difference. And a lot of people think, well, I can approach that person for some reason or another. And they may not have thought that when they were of romancing age.
okay. Or is it just part of human nature across generations is the other second part of
Second
their
part.
question about the showing effect, the signs of affection.
Oh, it doesn't. Yeah, that. Uh, I'm not sure what the question is.
Well, it's they're going. I think that they're wondering. It's like, does it do signs of affection, are they just naturally human nature, or is it societal? Would that be
Oh,
a bit
yeah.
more?
Yes. It's kind of both of those. There are some things that are societal, but mostly it's physical stuff that I talked about. Sometimes it becomes, uh, somebody will say, "Hey, I'm not interested in what I'm feeling right now from you," and
Mm.
that becomes social, how you say that. Some people will simply walk away from it and never contact you again, even though you had one date with them. And that can be confusing to a person. But generally, the physical stuff, patting on the shoulder or hugging or leaning forward, and that's standardized across generations.
Okay, so someone's saying, did I understand correctly that a long-term marriage means little affection?
No, it can, but no, it doesn't mean less affection. You don't display it. You no longer have to.
So,
Uh, a- Aging and hormonal changes
right,
can
I would
cause,
say
yeah,
you have to consciously, because a marriage is a work in progress,
yeah,
um, any relationship is, that you have to work on maintaining that if that's an important part of your relationship.
yeah,
If
um,
so,
yeah. And, women go through changes, menstrual cycles end, and so on. And so do men go through physical changes, hormonal changes, and so on. But mostly, during years after the marriage, or 3 decades later, um, it's different than courtship.
right.
Yeah. Um,
Okay, when using interpreters, does the interpreter convey the same body language as the speaker? If not, what does that mean for international relations and agreements?
well, generally, you can see the person speaking in a different language, and there can be cultural differences. Now, as to um, the interpretation, yeah, frequently you'll see people that are talking back to you in English, what was just said in Spanish, are using body language. But it may be different from what you've seen. Um, so yeah, it varies. Now, how about sign language? That's for blind people or deaf people,
Hmm.
and you don't hear any intonations. And same thing, blind people, they can hear what you're saying. They can't see what you're doing. That changes things. Uh, they can't see how close you are to them, etc. But yeah, during there are incredible relationship changes between courtship and marriage.
Hmm.
You're with the person all the time in the marriage or the partnership, and that's not the case when you're dating. You're wondering, where are they? What are they doing now? What should I wear? All that kind of stuff. And that becomes more standard operation. Conversations are much more long term, and you're in the room with each other, kind of thing. Um,
I think even besides interpreters, I think sometimes when like shows are dubbed,
Yeah,
you lose the vocal intention of the actors,
yeah.
what they're conveying with their voice besides their body movements. And
Yeah, politicians have spoke out about this, and they have said, I don't want the interpreter telling what he thinks I meant. I don't want him displaying something that I didn't display. You know, if I'm talking angrily, uh, should he talk angrily back with the interpretation? Almost everyone says no. I don't want that.
so,
So yeah, that it should be what I say, not what the interpreter shows and says and adds.
yeah. So, okay. Now is your time. I'm going to give you all a chance to ask another question or so if you want to. Letting you know that session 3 is also now up on YouTube and will shortly be up on the library website. I checked that while I was while you were talking. I was like, I'm just going to see, and like, oh yeah, Grayson is so on top of things, and I'm not. So, so yes, it is. All the first 3 sessions are all up on YouTube, the OLLI YouTube channel. And okay, no more questions, everyone? Because it is a beautiful day out. Oh wait, let me check chat. Somebody, oh, it just said okay. The one who said that Alexa had added milk to the groceries on her list also. It's like, yes, that is now showing on her phone grocery list. So yeah, because it was when you said it. So
Uh, yeah, I sit in any room in the house. We have one of these in every room in the house, and my wife and I say the A word. The A is this, that, or the other thing, and
mhm.
you can also change the voices. There's a Mark, for instance, and there's 4 different voices. Well, anyway, just use the first letter when you're talking in the room. Don't use the name because you're going to get a
Response.
an interruption.
Okay, well, it is a beautiful day out. Oh, wait, when somebody
Oh,
is talking and leans forward, what is, okay, somebody who must have missed a little bit, they want to reaffirm this. When somebody is talking and leans towards you, what does that body language mean? I think they missed that
oh,
part earlier.
generally it means that they like you. Now, of course, sometimes it's a habit with people. Like I said, I lean forward, but I have hearing aids. I'm trying to hear. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm interested in you, in dating you, or interested in you physically, or
Could it also
but
mean,
most of the time it means that.
okay,
So
or that they want to get their point across? I don't know.
yeah,
Okay. When Trump is in Asia and his famous thumbs up picture happened, wonder how that is going diplomatically for him.
yeah. Um, People may be educated about that. Now, this person that's coming here is from North America and they point a lot and don't take it the wrong way. You know, people may be, but often people aren't. But certainly politicians are frequently given notice about don't do this, don't do that. Last week, I showed a picture of George W. Bush as president walking with the leader of an Arab nation, and they're holding hands. Now, he wasn't going to hold anybody's hand, another man's hand. He got told, you know,
Mm-hmm.
this is how people behave in the Middle East. So please, when you walk with this guy, hold his hand. He may try to hold yours, and you are welcome to hold his. And, so things get explained, but things also do not get explained. And yeah, Trump recently, yeah, he was involved in this dance with a whole group of dancers from some Asian country. That,
So,
yeah.
okay, well, it's what, 1:56? Don't have any more things? We can get out early and go enjoy the sunshine, everyone.
Good.
'Cause it is beautiful out.
Thanks, everyone.
So, okay, well, thank you, everyone. We will be back next week on day after elections. Wow, just thinking about that. So, um, yeah, next week, 12:30. See you all back here.